Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As our government prepared Budget 2021, we faced a tremendous challenge. We needed to create a path forward for this province to emerge from the simultaneous challenge of economic downturn and the pandemic stronger than ever before. Our budget would have to reflect the economic realities that COVID-19 pandemic created, while also protecting the lives and livelihoods of everyone who calls Alberta home. The pandemic also reinforced the importance of strengthening our province, our communities, and our institutions, including our justice system. As Minister of Justice, maintaining access to a fair and equal justice is a priority, which this project reflects. And I am pleased to formally announce our plans to create a new Court of Appeal building right here in Calgary. This is no doubt welcome news to the judiciary and the Court of Appeal staff, who have been doing critical and remarkable work in less than adequate facilities for nearly 20 years. Several of these Calgarians have likely spent their entire careers with the court this way, with operations split between two separate buildings. This situation arose in 2003, when environmental issues forced the original historic Court of Appeal building to be vacated. Then the Court of Appeal began hearing criminal matters in the Calgary Court Center. Meanwhile, civil matters, document filing, and scheduling were dealt with in a subleased space in the Trans-Canada Tower, where staff and court offices were also housed. This arrangement became untenable. The Court of Appeal, after all, is the highest court in the province, adjudicating around 700 matters every year. Its justices and staff desperately needed a functional, easily accessible facility, one in which they may perform their important work and adjudicate important cases as efficiently as possible without constantly having to shuttle back and forth between buildings. Now, with the lease on the Trans-Canada Tower space ending in October 2024, is the perfect time to create a proper new Court of Appeal building. The project will honor our history by renovating and revitalizing Calgary's historic Court of Appeal, the courthouse, and incorporating it into the new facility. But it will also look to the future. The new building will have the space and the functionality necessary to serve the public safely and securely for many, many years to come. What's more, we will also be supporting about 570 good-paying jobs in the process. I know Minister Panda will expand on the details of this project, so I would just say this. Our government has been making great strides in modernizing Alberta's justice system. We are reforming the Police Act, we appointed an Alberta Parole Board, and will soon be appointing a Chief Provincial Firearms Officer. And we are using new strategies to fight rural crime and shorten response times in rural areas. This new courthouse project is yet another investment this government is making in the justice system, the safety and security of Albertans, and the overall future of our province. I thank you, and with that, I would now invite the Infrastructure Minister, the Honorable Prasad Panda, for his remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Minister Madu. I'm happy to join you today for this important announcement. Calgary is certainly abuzz with construction projects. Thousands of Albertans are at work today on job sites. The Calgary Cancer Center is on time and on budget with the opening scheduled for 2023. 7 new Calgary schools are in various stages from planning to construction right now, and all are on time and on budget. Our colleagues at Alberta Transportation are well on their way to completing the final sections of the 101 kilometer long Calgary Ring Road. These projects are providing access to healthcare, access to education, access to justice systems, and access to markets. Minister Madu had told us about how his ministry is working to modernize court facilities to ensure access to justice services for all Albertans. My ministry is working hard to ensure our justice facilities are up to the task as prescribed by Minister Madu. This new facility will give the Calgary Court of Appeal a modern home where both criminal and civil appeals will be heard. The new facility will be built adjacent to the Calgary Court Center, allowing both facilities to share services. And we will be incorporating this historic facility into the new court, preserve a significant historical Calgary landmark, and restore it to public use. Our government's capital plan is investing $57.3 million in this project over the next 3 years. This investment is expected to support 570 good jobs here in Calgary from the start to finish. And this is not the only justice facility project supporting jobs in Alberta. Late September, I was honored to join Minister Madu. We broke ground for the new Red Deer Justice Center. That $207 million project is supporting 750 good-paying jobs in central Alberta. We are also investing $26 million in capital maintenance and renewal projects at existing justice facilities across Alberta, supporting 145 jobs. The positive impact from these projects will ripple out from the worksite to benefit local manufacturers, suppliers, and trucking companies. The jobs created by these projects will be primarily in the trades and trades-related industries, but the impact will not be limited to the construction site. The financial benefits will reach the local community. Local businesses should see increased traffic. As the project teams travel to work in the morning, they'll stop for coffee and fuel. They'll eat at local restaurants for lunch. They'll shop at the local grocery stores on their way home. These projects mean that contractors can hire staff instead of laying workers off. These projects mean that more skilled Albertans will be able to work their trade instead of collecting employment insurance. These projects mean more lunch orders at local sandwich shops instead of empty tables. For every job these projects generate, the lives and livelihoods of many Albertans will be supported. By investing in new justice facility for the Court of Appeal in Calgary, we are investing in Alberta and Albertans, and this project is going to be part of our Alberta Recovery Plan, which invested $10 billion last year in 2020 during the pandemic, and the next 3 years we are going to invest $20.7 billion in all types of infrastructure Albertans need. So I look forward to seeing hard hats and work boots at this new project site very soon. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right, we'll now go to the phones Operator, can you please put through the first caller?
Kayla Brooks, 660 News.
Hi there. This is a question for Minister Madu. I just want to ask you if you can reiterate just how much funding is going to be provided to this space. I just missed the first part of the call. Somebody had their mic on, I think.
Thank you for that question. For the level of funding that we will be budgeting for this particular project in the next 3 years is well over $53 million.
Okay, thanks so much.
Do you have a follow-up? Is there a follow-up?
I don't. I'm good, thank you.
All right. Well, operator, could you please put through the next caller?
Madeline Smith, Calgary Herald.
Hi there. I'm sorry. I think I might have missed the details on this a little bit. I'm just wondering about the location of the new Court of Appeal. So I heard it was adjacent to the current Calgary Court Center. Do you have a sort of specific address of where it will be, or a very specific idea of exactly where it's going to be built, or is that sort of as much as you can say about where it will end up being?
Mr. Panda, please.
Thank you for that important question. So it would be the new building we're looking at north side of this historic old Court of Appeal building. Eventually, when we build a new building on the north side, we're going to connect the Calgary Court Center and the new Court of Appeal building with this historic old Court of Appeal building.
All right. I think, do you have a follow-up?
No, that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. That's all for questions. So we'll wrap it up there. Thank you.
Sorry.
What will this building be used for as opposed to what the newer portion will be used for? Do we know that yet?
I would, because that's an operational question, I will defer it to Minister Madu.
So it would still be part of the new revamped Court of Appeal. So you would have this complex, and you would have the new Court of Appeal complex. So all of that will constitute the new Court of Appeal complex.
Well, what function would it have? Would court go on in there, or would court go on in the new portion?
Well, I think that is an operational decision that the Chief Justice of the Court of Appeal, Madam Justice Catherine Fraser, would have to make with her colleagues. Thank you. Any other questions? Well,
I think that's it. All right. We'll wrap up, and we got some pictures to take.
well, thank you so much. Have a great day.